If you're in mono green, more power to you. If you're not, if you're in super heavy green, with your larvas and whatnot, maybe he's still alright. If you're in half and half, I wouldn't play this guy. So don't play him in half and half. It's not good enough. If you have Harrows, then, that's fine. Then you can play him. But, just make sure you can support that mana, because it's a lot of mana. Kind of nice that they gave mono green something. Nature's Claim is not very good. Destroys an artifact or enchantment, but they gain 4 life. It's a nice surprise against Journey. So, if they have Journeys in their deck, you can board it in. They attack all their guys, they just journey to your guy, you just got the one green open, you go bam, journey, and your guy comes back into play, blocks and owns one of their guys, and you get a 2-for-1. That's nice. So it's definitely playable sometimes, but it's not main deckable. No, don't main deck that card. It's usually not going to be worth it to Nature's Claim your opponent's scope or their adventuring gear. If you're playing a defensive deck, which is strange if you're playing green, then it gets better. If you're playing an aggressive deck, it gets a lot worse. Giving them 4 life is a lot. Okay, Omnath, Locus of Mana. He's fine in any green deck, solid enough. In mono green, he's mini bomb. Not ridiculous, but solid enough. Does not have trample or evasion. Makes me sad. Okay. Anyway, he's solid enough. You gotta invest a lot of mana in him for him to get good, so take him somewhere around where you take a Crypt Tripper, I think. Yeah. Quest for Renewal. Certain kinds of decks, maybe. I don't know what kind of deck that would be. You've got a lot of the Pinger or whatever. But then he pings for one more. Anyway, Scrib Nibbler deck. Just get one more out of it. No. Anyway, usually you're not going to want to play that card. Yeah, usually not. Sling Bow Trap. For some reason it has to cost more than Pitfall Trap, because killing flyers is so much more cool than killing non-flyers and less of a narrow purpose, totally. Okay, I don't know why this didn't just cost 2 mana and then have a trap cost for 3. Anyway, if you're controlled like a forest, might if in block it might get boarded in against Malakir. Anyway, yeah. So sideboard only, please. Sideboard only. Snapping Creeper, quite good. Much better than it looks. 3 for a 2/3 has always been ridiculous for me in this format. And the fact that the thing gets vigilance is a nice bonus. So, much better than it looks. Take it over your 2/1s, for sure. Strength of Tajuru. Alright, so you put a bunch of counters on something, and you can multi-kick it, and it's a big mana sink, and it's really good with Omnath. Because, you can put permanent counters on him and his buddies, and build up a bunch of mana. Yeah, it's really good. Take it over most any creature, I would say. Removal, it's not a bomb, I don't think, but it's darn good. So probably want to take removal over it, but it over most removal, or it over most creatures. Sorry. Summit Apes, 4 for a 5/2. I don't think is good enough unless you're playing red to make it have to be blocked by 2 creatures, and then it's pretty solid. Pretty solid, unless they have a bunch of first strikers. But yeah, interesting card. Move along. When would I play it? Otherwise, if I wasn't playing red, I would rarely play that card. 4 for 5/2. Reminds me of the 5/1 from Shards of Alara that I never played. Terrestodon. 6/7/8. So 8 mana for a 9/9 that makes you 3/3s. Really reminds me of this other guy. Bam. Avenger of Zendikar. You know, he's bigger, faster, but he takes another turn to cast. So, yeah, but once you do, you just blow up 3 of your own lands and you win the game. So if you can somehow draft a very defensive deck, and you can afford to, and ramp, you know, a ramping deck, that can afford to do that, sure, you know, more power to you. I won a draft with Iona once. That was nice. It was fun. With green-white. But, you know, usually he's not going to make the cut. It's 8 mana. It's a lot. A lot. And he does not have flying. He does not stop the flying alpha strike. So, you know, he gets better against decks without flying, obviously. So, you know, if you tend to get into a ground stall with your opponent, you can definitely board him in, and he'd be really, really good. So, that's fine. Vastwood Animist, 3 for a 1/1 elf shaman ally dude. That makes your lands into 1/1 dudes, and or bigger if you have a bunch of allies. The more allies you have, the better. He's not playable on his own, but I think you only need a couple allies for him to be. I mean, you only need like 4 other allies to make him playable. Not very good, but playable. So late game, you can just make like 2/2s and chump block all day long, or trade or whatever, and that's fine. You have a bunch of allies, then I mean he can get pretty sick. So another good ally. Vastwood Zendikon. It's probably the worst of the Zendikons. Maybe better than the Wall. Better than the Wall, I think. So yeah, 6/4 green elemental creature. And it's a 6/4 haste if you know, later. So that's cool. So I mean it's decent. It's definitely solid. You got to look at your curve. It's a 6-drop basically. And then there's Wolfbriar Elemental, who just says, you know, you cast me late in the game, you win. If they don't have a bunch of flyers. So, 4 for a 4/4. This thing's dumb, by the way. Wolfbriar Elemental. Yeah. Reminds me of Call of the Nightpacker. Stupid M10 card I always lost to. Oh, I hated that card. People drop it and just be, and you just lose. Okay. So, on to the rest of the stuff next.